And welcome to the Conscious Earth. Today I would like to talk about Michael Jackson's vision for the future of human being. A lot of his music, if not almost 80% of his music, always approached difficult subjects, shall we say, in ways to highlight, points out in what is wrong and where things are not really very good, or things are things are very nasty, shall we say that way. And just recently, also because of the movie just came out, Michael's biopic, in the cinemas, and now his music researches again massively, and people are starting to look at lyrics as well, and a lot of people haven't been aware of, but a lot of his songs really are about what is going on in the world now, what is coming to the surface. He was a visionary, he really was. He knew about things, he could foresee them, and he used his music, really his popularity, to point fingers in that direction, or highlight that. Point fingers is the wrong word. So yeah, it's been always a subject. I love Michael's music, I really do. I always have done. And if you ever heard of his upbringing and the way his childhood was, you can understand how he was as an adult as well. But besides all the hardship he went through as a child, and he still made most of his life caring about other people and other beings, about the planet. He had such a big heart, which is often not acknowledged, to be fair. And yeah, he's done a lot, not only for children. He's done a lot for the planet, for charities. He has such a passion about doing good in the world, and he used the music to transport that to the masses. A lot of the problems he pointed out in his songs are really relevant today, and it just shows what a enlightened human being he really was, to know these things. I mean, we're talking about 30-40 years ago that he already seen these things, what was happening, which society tried to put under the carpet, shall we say, not to have to listen to the negativity of what's going on behind closed doors, shall we say. And some of the examples of his music is, one of the big ones is obviously the Earth song, which is one of my favorite, where he really highlights the problems for the planet. Even then, when it came out, and I'm not exactly sure when it was in the 90s some point when the song came out. I could be wrong, so don't pinpoint me on that. But if you ever listened to the song or seen the video of it, it's about the planet. It's about people starving and being hungry. It's about animals who are being distinct because of human behavior, or shall we say, saying of corporations, of the big companies, or a few individuals who want to make money and they don't care about these kind of things. That is what I mean with putting things under the carpet and hiding it away, so it's not being made obvious to the public what's wrong. And in our song, it's really a wide, a variety of things he points out. If you ever listen to his song, have a look at the lyrics as well, because he really is on point for everything, and which makes that song extremely relevant these days, especially now with the global warming, with all these catastrophic things we have going. We have alone in 2026 this year, I don't know how many earthquakes we had going in the world, but it must be about 40 or 50. You almost hear every week at least about 2. Just in recent days in Venezuela was a really bad one, where over 1,000 people got killed. We had terrible floods in America, and a lot of that has to do with what human beings have been doing and using resources of Earth without putting anything back into it. Whether especially when it comes to rivers, whether it's been straightening the rivers out and not leaving them in their natural form, which has a reason behind why they are like that. But yeah, so there is a lot of that going on in the Earth song. Now another song is one he re-recorded, was the last song he re-recorded, which was an earlier hit, Man in the Mirror, which is again a fantastic example as well in a spiritual way. If you're looking at it, he's talking about looking first at the person or at the man in the mirror and starting changing yourself first. And I compare that with, we hear that now every day, it is we need to work first on ourselves, on our inside, sort ourselves out first. I've grown up with being told it's selfish to do this, to look after yourself first. You have to look after others first. But now we know you cannot really look after anyone else if you're not being in yourself capable of having the energy as well to do that. So this is really another fantastic example to look at the lyrics and really listen to what Michael says in the song or sings in the song. And another one is They Don't Care About Us. I think most people have actually seen the video, and this is about people being defamation, people being suppressed, enslaved in some ways. It's about the class systems we have across the world. It's not only about dictatorship, it's generally speaking the unfairness, whether it's in wages, whether it's about male or female, how different they've been treated. It's about people not being given the equal chances. So if somebody, let's say a child grows up in a household where it's lots of money, they obviously got better chances than someone who hasn't. This is really in that way that it says in the song, they don't care about us. It's for the average person, really, the meaning about it. So you have that maybe 5% of the upper class with lots of money, they got all these opportunities, they can pay their way as well, to get things they want to do in their life, which a person from maybe a bit of a lesser income household is not able to achieve unless they may win in the lottery or something like that. So that's another brilliant point. And I won't go through all his songs, don't worry. I only got 2 more. Another one is a very old one of his, is Black or White, which points out about racism, obviously. And I think Michael was just about around the time he was that age when he was growing up in America mainly. It was that the black people or brown people have not had yet the equality they may have today. So that is another point of how if you are a white person you have better chances in life. You can achieve more than if you have any other color. So it really points out about the racism. And to be honest, I do like the song, and I know racism is on the rise again, which is a shame. But let's be honest, we are all of the same race, we are all human beings. It doesn't matter which part of the continent, the earth you're coming from, we are all one human race. So it does not matter if you're black or white, red or yellow or whatever color you want to call it. I don't like labels as it is, but it's really as long as somebody is a decent and a fair human being, respects others, it does not matter what color or who you are or what your background is. So again, that's another problem subject he used. And then you got obviously Billie Jean, one of his biggest hits, and I'm pretty sure that was in the mid-90s when that came out. Talks about a young single mom who is desperately trying to find a dad for her little boy. So it's all about pointing fingers about single moms, maybe in the 90s not being as bad anymore, but it's still being looked upon or frowned upon on that subject too. And it just shows that with these 5 examples I just brought you on his songs, that there is a big percentage of all his songs really are going for subjects which are a problem which needs to highlight. I mean, we are lucky these last few years things are coming to the surface. As crazy as our world is now, we need to see this. And Michael helped that, and his music is so relevant now. That's why it turns up in the charts again, why it's coming so popular again. And I do hope that people are looking on it a bit less prejudiced this time around than it happened just a few years before he died. Overall, with his music, he had a far reach and lots of power. One of the reasons he was later falsely accused of nasty things he just didn't do. But he got so powerful, and masses of people listened to him, and he stirred a certain movement, which then just wasn't. We weren't ready then, I guess, but powerful people were frightened in a way that he could do some damage, so they turned the table and made sure they damaged him, and which they did, which is a shame. Because the one thing what you need to remember, Michael Jackson should be remembered about his deeds, his music, and what he meant to his children. I don't know if any of you ever watched, I don't know, it was about a week later after he passed away, they had it wasn't a funeral, it was just a sort of ceremony, and his little daughter, Paris, then, I think she was 10, she spoke about her daddy, how much she loved him. And you never ever heard from any of his 3 kids anything negative in any kind of way. He just loved everyone. He loved kids especially. And I always thought it's because he was never allowed to be a kid. So why not be a kid later on in life when you can afford it. And hey ho, he did, and he did a lot of good. So my question to you guys now is, what do you like about his music? Let me know in the comments. What are your views about his music? What can you interpret into it, or which lyrics on which song would for you be poignant this day? For me, I really just like for what he stood for, and he was just a really amazing soul, and yeah, we could do with a lot more than that. So thank you very much. Bye until next time. Have a great day.